Prince Namor the Submariner. The Ultraman of the Deep lives on land and in the sea. Şu lives'ın bir türlü nasıl okuyacağım hala şey edemedim. Will Everett miydi neydi? Her seferinde alıp başka bir şekilde zor okunuyor. Başka bir şekilde kötü yazdıkları ya da sanatsal yazdıkları için yani neyse. Namor's Navy of Submariners has cleared a path through the mine-infested waters of the North Sea for the American freighter Mary, formerly captured by the enemy on the excuse that she carried contraband cargo and now rescued virtually single-handed by Namor. She's ride the waves toward a neutral port. Marie Jenny vardı Forrest Gump'ta. Forrest Gump'ın gemisinin adı da Jenny'ydi. Heavily she dips and rolls in the mountainous, never ceasing waves, her beams creaking the clang of iron chains ringing against her hull, and finally 3 days later, she slips quietly into the little harbor of Durnhaven, escorted by protecting sub-chasers and coastal motorboats. Bu kadarmış ilk sayfa. 22. Essence Love. Ahoy there. Şunu birazcık daha küçülteyim. Ahoy there, you're safe now, so I'll be leaving you goodbye and good luck. Clinging to a rope at the side of the ship, Namor yells a hearty farewell to the captain and crew, then dives below surface to his flagship, idling at the bottom of the harbor. He gives a telepathic command, fleet formation, set course southwest by south, full speed ahead. Güzel başladık. Lieutenant Nogar herhalde. Take the helm, set the cutting edge on the planes, and let nothing stand in our way. We must get back home at once. 9,000 miles from here to our ice palace. The aerial subs are in good condition, so we should be there in 2 days. I shall ask the Emperor for permission to return to the United States. I've had enough of this confounded war. Perhaps I can do some good for the American people, my father's countrymen. My friend Betty Dean, the young policewoman, should be back in New York by now. She can tell me how to get started on my philanthropic campaign. Exactly 2 days later, Namor's fleet arrives at the Great Ice Castle, hewn out of a giant iceberg in the cold, South Antarctic waters. The underseamen tumble from their aerial submarines in frenzied confusion, anxious to get back to their wives and children. 23. Prince Namor Prince gibi giyindi bu sefer. Greetings, Sullivan. After repairing to his mother's rooms in the castle and changing his clothes, Namor appears before the Emperor. Greetings, Sullivan. Your wandering prodigy has returned again. After a successful venture into the European war zone, a good Namor, my boy. And now I suppose you have come to me for another favor. Bence bu adam ölecek ha. Çünkü baş karakteri bu kadar iyi öven bir lider genelde sağ kalmıyor. Yes, sire, I wish permission to go back to America. There is much to be done there, both good and bad, and I am tired of meddling in this silly war between dictatorship and democracy. Very well, son. I suppose you know what you're doing, and after all, since your father was an American, I cannot very well refuse to let you go, but your mother will be angry. I'm sorry about mother, but it can't be helped. I've got to go. Goodbye, sir. Goodbye and blessings on you, boy. 15 minutes later, Namor is on his way. First thing to do is to find Betty. Karaya gidiyor. Savaş kurtarmayacak değil. 3 days travel by sea and air. Namor, having winged feet such as the Greek god Mercury, brings the submariner into the waters of New York Harbor. Here he swims about cautiously, looking for some way to get ashore without being seen by the police. That pier, Namor swims toward the huge docks on the North River. That pier looks like a likely spot. Ah, and there's a rope hanging over the edge. I sneak up it, and get into the city unnoticed. Grabbing the rope, tabii prens kıyafetleriyle, he pulls himself quietly out of the water. Holy Mother Mary, what's the Mukimba? Side, some fool masquerader, or by golly, the submariner. Jesus. 24. Sure thing, Danny. It's the submariner, right? Let's get them for as a chance to get away. Even as the policeman fire, Namer swings down and sweeps out of range. Bunlar böyle barışmamış mı ne yazdı hani Betty falan. Swift as a dart, Namer shoots into the air as the policemen empty their revolvers at him in vain. Holy smokes, Danny, us flying in the air. We missed them all together. What will we do now? Call it quarters, Mickey. Get the right squad, get the air corps out. If he flies again, the planes can force him down. With siren, while overhead from Floyd Bennett Field come city police planes searching for Namor. Taktım. With sirens screaming, patrol cars race through the streets headed for the scene of Namor's arrival. Frantically, the armed policemen rake the building tops with machine gun fire and their called specials. But the submariner is evasive. I'm pretty sure I saw that fellow up there only a second ago. Pretty sure. 25. Anam güzel bir resim var. Şu uçak, şu güzelmiş. His attention glued to the firing squad, Namor soars into the air, unaware of impending danger, until suddenly a green and white monoplane dives down upon him. His claw catches in the landing gear, and he's forced down with the speed of the plane, helpless, but he rips free unconscious, and plummets to earth, a limp, lifeless body, while on the streets below the fire department anticipates his arrival. And with a terrific hollow thud, Namor plunges into the life net. Immediately the riot squad rushes forward. Ambulance, New York Police. Hani hastaneye yatırılacak. Namor submariner. Hastaneye yatırılıyor. Prince hastaneye. Taking no chances. The men leap upon their captive, but finding him unconscious, they revert to gentler methods of subduing him. Suddenly Namor comes to. Startled, he looks about him, and just as a fireman starts to bind him with rope, he pulls an old jiu-jitsu trick, throwing the fireman over his shoulder. Bir tane de patlatıyor. Şurada bir prak trak falan bir ses yok. Sadece böyle görüntüyle yapmışlar. Çünkü konuştuk bunu, büyük ihtimal işte bu savaş konularını falan şu Almanlarla falan dövüşüyor. Az buçuk ciddileştiği için çizgi romanın seviyesi böyle o crash seslerini kullanmıyorlar. Like a streak of lightning, he is upon his feet and smashing into his captors. But suddenly from behind comes an ambulance doctor and clamps a chloroform sponge to Namor's nose. Unable to combat the fumes, Namor sinks into a heavy synthetic slumber. He is then strapped to a stretcher and placed in the ambulance and whirled through the city's traffic to the police station. Okay boys, take him inside. Evet, bakalım ne olacak. 27. Betty kurtar Namor'ı. This cell will do. Lay him on the cot here, but leave him strapped to the stretcher. He'll raise the devil when he comes to. At the booking desk, policewoman Betty Dean shows interest in the prisoner. Sergeant, who was that? That they just brought in. That officer Dean, me proud beauty, was the notorious submariner. Why do you ask? The submariner? Great heavens! Why, I know him well. He's the one who kidnapped me and took me to sea. There is such heck with the Germans. Take me to him, Sergeant. I must talk with him. What? Oh, Betty. Hello, Namor. We'll have you out of here in a jiffy. How come you're back in this part of the country? Betty rushes to the cell and, with the permission of the surgeon, releases Namor, who regains consciousness. Well, I'm certainly glad you showed up, Betty. Can't you get me out of this? All I want is to help you people. Have me sworn in as a deputy or a policewoman. Anam polis falan olsa çok severim or something. And I'll show you what I can do. While in the other office at the switchboard, a call comes in from a subway dispatcher's office. Holy smokes, what's this? A float and a wreck? Okay, we'll have this emergency squad there right away. Yes, sir. He's hired. Call just came in from the headquarters of the Midtown subway. There's been a flood and a wreck at Fifth Street. I've sent the emergency squad down, but I think you'd better look into it yourself. And at Fifth Street, many feet below the surface, confusion reigns as waters rage about the mad jumble of steel and iron. Women scream and men shoot in terror as the waters tear through the tunnel. Şu resme biraz daha bakayım. Suları falan çok güzel yapmışlar. Birazcık yakından bakmak istiyorum. Oha lan. Böyle bir suyun içinde olmak çok ilginç olurdu. Gerçekten böyle görünüyor. 28. Look, Betty, this is my chance. Let me handle the wreck. I can take care of it practically single-handed. Use your influence and let me redeem myself. Namor is related secretly from headquarters. Okay, Namor, if Betty guarantees you, I guess we can let you escape, but the commissioner must know nothing about it, not until you finish what you plan to do. Go now, and good luck to you. Good luck to you. Out in the open, Namor tears through the streets, streaking toward Fifth Street and the underground catastrophe. And Fifth Street, Namor darts down into the subway entrance to meet a raging torrent of black, sooty water. Wasting no time, he speeds toward the nearest overturned car, righting it with ease as he bends his shoulders and applies his weight, the strength of 100 whales. Dur, 1000 men gücünde, 10 tane fil gücünde, 100 tane de balina gücünde ise bir fil 10 balina gücünde mi oluyor? No man, I don't think so. Then back again to the cold, wet blackness of the subterranean deluge. Victims cling to him as he snatches them from the twisted mass of steel, tearing through the water to the exits. Bubbles on the surface warn him of a submerged victim. He dies and the man is rescued. Oh, looks like the leak sprang here. But wait a minute, that's a man-made hole. Better look into this. Almanlar! Almanlar gelmiş! Tamam. Susuyorum. And finds himself in a long dark tunnel leading to who knows where. With his usual impulsiveness, Namor ducks through the narrow opening. İlk şuraya sonra bura. Bak çok karışık yazdıkları için yanlış okuyorum. Onların suçu yani benim değil. Namor follows the water's current, hoping to find its source. Don't like the looks of this at all, but it may lead to something. Meanwhile, pedestrian traffic passes in front of the treasury, unaware of the drama taking place beneath its basement. Jesus. A sinister black-clad figure supervises a group of men drilling through bedrock. Okay, boys, we're almost through. 2 more feet and we have it. Whoa, what's this? Looks like the end of my journey, a fork in the tunnel, and a safe-like door. Namor contemplates the steel barrier before him, planning a way to get through. It may be impossible, but there's just a chance that I can break through. A mighty tough door, though. Acaba olacak mı? Finally resorting to brute force, he lays hold on the handle and practically rips the door from its hinges, to find himself again in another tunnel, at the far end of which is a group of men dressed as sandhogs drilling through a wall of rock and clay. 30. Hearing Namor approach, the leader wheels about, cursing, "Who's that? Why, you miserable interloper! You'll be sorry you ever had a pair of eyes!" He whips an automatic out of his coat pocket and snaps a shot at Namor. Namor falls, crashing to the wet, muddy floor of the tunnel. He feigns death. Niye tünelin altındaysa yeşil mavi renkler falan var anlayamadım. Millions of dollars in gold and silver bullion. A moment later, a thunderous boom and the sandhogs burst through the wall into the great secret vault of the treasury. Good work, boys. It's all here. Great idea the boss had. This vault is protected on 3 sides by an underground channel of water, but all we had to do was divert the water into the subway, let cause a wreck, and drive attention away from us. Namor, waiting until the men get into the vault, suddenly leaps through the torn opening. So, bank robbers, and they think they can get away with it. Well, we'll see about that. and bursts upon the robbers, smashing them right and left. Taken completely by surprise, he catches them off guard, and they are helpless. His strength is terrific, bones are broken, and men scream horribly. Chaos! Holy smoke, what's going on here? Hearing the commotion, guards arrive on the scene. I might have known it. Mills, Gilligan and his outfit, how did you discover them? Simply because there was too much water in the subway tunnel to have come from just a broken pipeline. I suspected another source and found it. As you see, most of the water came from the reservoir around this vault. And so explaining the capture of Mills Gilligan, bir şey Gilligan, Vince Gilligan, Breaking Bad'in şeyi. Bir de atası falan çıkıyormuş, babası falan. Breaking Bad'in yönetmeni. And his gang ya da yapımcı. We leave Namor in the Treasury Building, what will he do next? Watch for Marvel Comics next month. Dedik bakalım ileride ne varmış. Mask Trailer, hadi görüşürüz.